I'm Dr. Keith Cox, and I'm going to be your professor for this U.S. History online distance class at Mesa College. I'm going to do a little bit of an introduction to the course today. The things that we're going to be cover are going to be, I will talk a little bit about who I am. We'll talk about the Canvas and the syllabus and the way that the course is set up in terms of logistics, and then I'll give you a few little assignments. And then after that, we're going to have a little bit of a discussion about why we study history. And because we're actually not meeting, I won't be able to do the discussion with you guys, but I have already done the discussion with some other students. And I think it's a pretty good introduction to why we should study history. So I encourage you guys all to watch it. And then, let's just move on. Okay, well, just to tell you a little bit about myself, I graduated from high school in 1973. I joined the Navy during the Vietnam War. I was in the Navy for 10 years. And then I sobered up and said I'm into what, and got out of the Navy. I got a degree in computer science. I worked for Hewlett Packard for a number of years. And then I went mad and decided I'd rather teach history than make money. So I went back to college, got a BA in history, graduated magna cum laude, and then I got a full scholarship to the University of California for graduate study. I have a master's degree in Latin American history and a PhD in Latin American history. My specialty is modern Mexico. My dissertation was of the U.S. occupation of Mexico, 1846 to 1848. My primary field is actually teaching Latin American history, but my teaching fields are U.S. and world history. I've been teaching here at Mesa College since 2004. I started teaching online right at the beginning of the pandemic in March of 2020. And I started teaching distance classes last year. So I've kind of got a little bit smoothed out, although there's still things that may go wrong. And if they do, then we'll work that out together. So let's go ahead and take a look at our Canvas show. When you first log into the Mesa College website, you're going to see up at the top, the very top of the screen, there's a menu item for Canvas. And when you select that, it will bring you to the Canvas login page. To log into Canvas, you're going to need your 10-digit student ID and a password. If you haven't set up Canvas before, your password is going to be 6 digits for your birthday. It's the two digits for your month, 2 digits for your day, and then 4 digits for your year. So actually, that's 8 digits. But at any rate, the point here is that, so for example, for me, if I was just logging in, my password would be 07021955. So now that's how you find your original password. And it's also the day of my birthday. So you guys can send me birthday cards with checks. When you log into Canvas, you're going to see something that looks similar to this. You won't see all this pink stuff around here because this is actually my view set up so that it looks like what a student would see. Okay, so when you log in, you're going to see that the course is divided up into modules, starting with module 00. And right now, you can only see module 0 and module 1 because as you go through these assignments, you're going to have to mark them complete before you can move on to the next one. So as you go through the course, you'll see more and more of the assignments. Okay, so there's actually 6 modules, just so that you know, and that'll bring us up to the end of the semester. Okay, so now just a few things. Obviously, this is the first one, the introduction video that you're looking at right now. So you probably already figured out how to get to that. Then we have the uh, underneath the module itself is a little, there's a module with a little A next to it, which is kind of an addendum to the to the module. And the reason for that is because these are things that are done asynchronously. You don't have to do these things in order. They're you can be doing them at pretty much any time you want. So um, so so what we see here is we've got a few things. We've got the syllabus. I'll show you that in a minute. The exam, one study guide, and then there's some things. These four things were put here by the textbook manufacturer, and the textbook is an online textbook. It's actually free. It's here. You can find it here under OpenStax U.S. History, and we're going to be looking at the first 16 chapters. Okay, so the last 17, the last however many chapters that there are, you will not be able to see those when we finally get the course published. Okay, but anyway, the first 16 chapters are there. They're free. You don't have to pay for it, although there is some information up here for if you wanted to buy a print copy of it, you can, and they'll tell you how to do it. I don't know how much it costs. I don't think it's very expensive, but just so you know. All right, and then the way that the textbook works is you just click on the link. It brings you up a kind of a summary, I guess you could say, of the chapter, and then to actually look at the chapter, you click on these links, and it brings you up to the web page where the text is actually located. Okay, so I hope that works out for you. I want you to use the textbook. What I don't want is for you to have to pay $100 for the textbook. So hopefully this will work out for you. Okay. Next thing, did that. And then the next thing would be, I'll go over how we do the modules here in just a second. Before that, I wanted for us to take a look at the syllabus. Okay, so when you click on the link for the syllabus, and it'll bring you have to actually do this for some reason. I'm not sure exactly why, but anyway, this will bring you to our syllabus. This is the actual official syllabus for this course. I would not print it out if I were you, because I might have to change it. It'll always be here, and if I do change it, I will let you know. Okay, but at any rate, it has all the information that we need. We've got the name of the college, obviously. Hopefully you know that we're at San Diego Mesa College. It's the beginning of the fall semester. That's me, and that's my phone number. Just a note about the phone number is that it's not really a phone. It's actually a voicemail box that I've had since 2004, and I've never checked it. So the reason why it's there is because it's requirement of the college that I put a phone number on the syllabus. So there it is. But I'm never going to answer it, and if you leave me a message, I'm never going to hear it. So the best way to use it would be, if you get mad at me, you can call me up on that number, say, Professor Cox, you're a big fat idiot, and hang up, and you'll be happy because you said it, and I'll be happy because I never heard it. And then here's my email address, and you can reach me by email. But the problem is that I get really hundreds of emails, and it's very easy for me to lose an email. And so what I would suggest is that you use Canvas email. The Canvas email, I always get that. I always check it, and I'm more likely to get back to you sooner if you use that than you use this email. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. Right now, I don't have any scheduled office hours, but I will schedule some office hours. I'm going to send out a survey in a couple of days to figure out when you guys would want me to be available for office hours, and then we'll go from there. Okay. The rest of this is kind of boilerplate. It's stuff that has to be there. Here's how you're going to be graded. Each one of these things is talked about down here in the body of the syllabus. I'm not going to go over them today because it's the beginning of the semester, and pretty much every professor goes through the syllabus on the first day. And so if you're just beginning your semester, you might have 3 or 4 syllabi that you've gone over with 3 or 4 different professors. And at the end of the day, you won't remember any of it. So what I've learned is that it's better just to have it here, and then you can refer to it, and I will refer to it when we need to look at it. But it is here for you to use, okay? And I encourage you to use it, okay? So if you look at the way I've divided up the points, there's some different activities that we'll be doing that all add up to 1,000 points that in the end gets translated to 100 points and, standard grading scale. But I will have extra credit, okay? And we'll talk about that as we go on. I'm going to be showing you, generally speaking, all of the class material will be presented in online video lectures that I've recorded while I was doing remote teaching. And so you will be required they're divided up into little segments. The little segments are usually less than about 15 minutes. And what you do is you watch the video, you answer the questions about the video that I ask you, and then you can move on to the next lecture. Okay, so that's mostly how we're going to be doing this. These are the materials that you're going to need for this course. You have the free U.S. history textbook, which I've already shown you. And then there's 2 other books that we're going to need to buy. One is The Good War by Studs Terkel and The Soul of America by John Meacham. The Good War we'll be using later in the course. The Meacham book we'll be using starting pretty quickly, so you need to get these. They're not really that expensive. I think you can get them on Amazon in Kindle format or whatever, but you need to get them. These are the ones that you'll actually have to buy. Obviously, you need to have some level of computer skills to be able to take an online course. And I'm going to assume that you do, so I'm not going to really go over that right now. And then again, here's some explanation for all of the different things that we'll be doing in this class. If you ever have a question about what to do next, look at the syllabus first. And then if you can't figure it out, then send me a message on Canvas and I'll try to help you figure it out, okay? Let's go down here to the last page, is where the schedule is. And the schedule is really kind of loose because we're not really meeting in class. So if we were meeting in class, then these dates would actually be important. The dates are not that important, although there are a couple of dates that will be important, and I'll go over there here in just a second, okay? But what will happen is that you'll be watching the video. This video doesn't have any questions associated with it, but this one, the one that you'll be watching this week, does have questions associated with it. So what you'll do is you'll watch the video, answer the questions, and then you move on to the next video, okay? And then you'll see that I put a discussion in almost every week. So we'll be doing a lot of discussions over different aspects of the material. This is actually helpful. I think it will be helpful to you. So anyway, so yeah, and they're graded, so you obviously will want to do them. But I wanted to point out that the dates that I put for these assignments, they're not really fixed. The only date that really is going to be fixed, or actually there's 2 of them. One of them is going to be on the 30th of September, and the other one is going to be on the 4th of December. And what's going to happen there is that you will all of the assignments for modules 1 through 3 have to be finished by September 30th. All of the assignments for module 3 will be closed after the beginning of the midterm. Okay. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the midterm. Many of you will not have to take the midterm, but there's a way out of it. But I'll have to show you how that is in a few minutes, right? And then the next thing here is down here at the bottom, the same thing on the 4th of, or actually, I'm not sure, it's the 6th of December, I think. You have to have everything turned in by that date, so that we can know whether or not you need to take the final exam. All right. So again, we'll be looking. I'll try to help you see what all that means here in just a minute. We're going to talk about how to do these assignments. You'll be doing this for the next 15 weeks, pretty much. So what you'll notice now, we're back on our Canvas page, and I've marked the first 2 sections as done, which means we're done with module 0. And then we're now moving on to module 1. And you'll see that in module 1, you have, actually, there's going to be more than this right now, than you see right now. But you'll see a number of different things. The first thing is the module section name has a link to, let me just show you here. It has a link to the presentation that I use for the lectures. So you can go ahead and you can log in, or you don't even have to log in. You just click on it and you can see all the different things that I put in the presentation. You'll see what I mean when you actually log into the, when you start to watch the video, because all these things, all of these different slides you'll see inside the video, and that will just so that the information's all there in case you wanted to look at it. Okay, so that's the first thing you see, and then underneath that, these are the actual video lectures. Right, so you click on the video lecture, you'll see a link to a YouTube video. You can watch it here. You can go to YouTube to watch it. Once you watch the video, then you will answer these questions at the bottom of the video. Okay, so you answer the questions inside the box. Don't try to upload anything or anything like that. Just answer the questions inside the box. And then when you're done, you've answered both the questions, click on the link here or the little checkbox, and then you'll submit the assignment and you can move on to the next assignment. All right. And as you notice, in this particular section, there's 6 different video segments. Some of them have more, some of them have less. I don't think any of them really have more than 6. But at any rate, the point here is there's 6 different sections, and each one of these is worth 1 point. Okay, but let me tell you what that means. What it means is that after you have submitted the assignment, I will go and I will read your answers, and I will give you credit or no credit based on whether or not you answered the question correctly based on what you saw in the video. Okay, so the thing that you need to really understand here is that I'm not looking for any other answer than the one that I gave you in the video. And you're not going to be able to answer these questions if you don't watch the video. So you're going to have to watch the video, and then you answer the questions the way that I answered them in the video, and then you can move on to the next one. Okay, you'll know why that's so important here in just a minute. All right, but I want you to really understand that the thing that your task is, your very simple task is to watch the video and answer the questions based on what was in the video. Okay. All right. So keep that in mind. All right. Now, here's how this is going to work. When you have answered these questions, I will go and look and I will see, well, is this the right answer or is this not, based on what you saw in the video? And if it's not, then I'll mark it as incorrect or actually incomplete. And you'll have to go back and try again. Okay. You can do it as many times as you want. But once you get it correct, then I will mark this assignment as complete. Okay. And that will give you 1 point. All right. Now, I will do that for all of the assignments in sections 1 through 3. And if you complete all of the assignments in sections 1 through 3, you will be excused from the midterm. Okay. Because my idea is if you can answer all these questions, then you don't need to take the midterm because you've really already answered them. Okay. But so if you do the video lectures, you answer all the questions, I check them, and whether you have to revise them or not, eventually I will mark them complete. If I mark them complete and you have all of them complete, then you will be able to skip the midterm exam. Okay. So hopefully you guys get that. If you don't get it, we'll talk more about it as we get closer to the midterm. But the main thing is you want to go in and you want to watch the videos, answer the questions, and then I'll go back and I will grade them as many times as I need to, and I will help you as much as I can to make sure that you get the right answer that I'm looking for from the video. Okay. Now, the thing that I want to really caution you guys about is that there is this new wonderful technology called AI with chat bots and all that stuff, right? And unfortunately, some of my students have in the past thought that the best way to do this course was just to take all the questions and run them through the chat bot and then post the questions online. Okay. As in here in the submission box. All right. Excuse me, post the answers. Okay. The problem with that, there's a number of different problems with that. The first one is if you turn something in that you didn't write, but you say that you wrote it, that's plagiarism. Okay. Plagiarism is a very serious academic offense. I had one student in my last class that basically was booted from the class because of plagiarism. And I really don't want to put up with plagiarism. So just word to the wise, don't try to use a chat bot. All right. That's the first thing. The second thing about the chat bot is it might give you the right answer, but it's not the answer I'm looking for. The answer that I'm looking for is in the video. And you need to know now that I know the difference between what I taught and what the chat bot said. Okay. So you can't fool me into thinking that you watched the video if you didn't watch the video. Just keep that in mind. All right. It just will not work for you. Okay. And the reason why I'm being so emphatic about this is because I've had students who just refuse to believe that I know what I actually taught, and they keep trying to put answers from chatbots into these submission boxes, and they keep getting zeros. And eventually what will happen is I just get disgusted. It makes me grumpy to have to read this. It's really insulting for you to assume that I don't know what I taught. Okay. So just kind of keep that. I'm not trying to be mean, but I want you to do this work. It's not that hard. You just watch the video, answer the questions. I will help you get the right answer. Right. But don't try to plagiarize, because it's just going to cause nothing but trouble for you and for me and for the rest of the students, because then I can't trust what anybody's writing. Okay. So anyway, just wanted to kind of vent that a little bit, just to make sure that you're not going to get away with plagiarism. You're not going to get away with just posting stuff from chatbots. Just keep that in mind. Okay. All right. So having said all that, once you've done, that's basically how you're going to do all of the different assignments. The last thing that I want to show us here is the first that we're going to be doing a discussion. I told you we do discussions pretty much every week, all right? And there's going to be one that's due this week. It's this one right here. It's right under module 0, okay? And what you do is you go in and you just answer the questions, all right? This one's kind of just like a, get introduced to the class, and you guys can introduce yourselves to each other. And I'll actually put something in here before the class starts, so you kind of see what I'm looking for. But at any rate, that's the thing that we need to know about the discussion is that it has a beginning date and an end date. Okay, so the beginning date on this one is the first day of class. The end date is going to be a week from the first Monday, or you can see, let me go back here. No, that's not what I want to look at. Go back here and you'll see that it's due on August 28th. All right. So basically what that means is that you have to turn it in by 11:59 on August 28th, which is a week from Monday. Is that right? I think it's 26th. I'll have to go back and look at that. But at any rate, it's a week from Monday, from the first Monday of the class. Okay, and once that deadline passes, you cannot get on that discussion again. So if you miss it for some reason, you've missed it. And the reason why I will take anything else late, I will take all of the assignments late. Pretty much everything is going to be accepted late, except for the discussions. And the reason why is because the discussion is open for everybody, and you need to be able to have somebody to discuss with in order to be able to discuss, right? So it's not just a matter of just posting a bunch of stuff online. It's a matter of interacting with your colleagues, all right? You have to be able to do that, and you can't do that if the discussion is not open, if the discussion's over. It's like saying, I want credit for going to a meeting that was over half an hour ago, even though I'm going right now. That just doesn't make any sense. You will not be able to turn anything in for discussions late. All right. You guys got that? Questions? Well, you guys can't answer me. You can't ask me questions because I'm recording this before you even know I exist. Right. So anyway, the point here is that if you do have questions, go ahead and send me an email in Canvas. I will try to be as available to you as I can be. I really want this to be a valuable experience for you. Most of you guys probably think that history is not very important, but it is actually way more important than you can imagine. And hopefully we'll start to get a feel for that even today after we watch the little segment on why do we study history. Okay, so again, I want to welcome you to the class, and I hope that you guys will be able to do very well in the class. If you have any questions, you need help with anything, just let me know and I'll do my best to help you. Okay, we'll see you soon.